Is the hype train real on this Bardstown Discovery Series 11? Is it truly a findable, cheaper alternative that tastes just as good, if not better, than the Russell's 13? Well, we're putting them head to head today to determine which one's better. Welcome back to another episode of Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner, and today we've got another blind battle for you guys. We are putting the Russell's 13-year, one of my favorite pours that I've ever had. This is a batch 5 up against the Bardstown Discovery Series 11. Now, this Bardstown Discovery Series 11 is made up of 73% Kentucky 13-year-old bourbon, with the mash bill of 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley, which just so happens to be the exact same mash bill and age as the juice in this bottle here. By the way, guys, before we get going with this video, I just got to say thank you so much to all the subscribers out there. Y'all really mean the world to me. I thoroughly enjoy interacting with y'all in the comments on each and every video, and we're inching up closer and closer to that 2,000 subscriber mark. And once we get there, I'm going to be giving away a John J. Bowman single barrel as well as a Weller Antique 107. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and get subscribed because we got amazing content coming out for you guys each and every week. And I thoroughly love hearing from you all in the comments. But anyways, I do not know which bourbon is in which glass. And so the Russell's 13 is clocking in at 114.8, and I believe this is 118.1 proof. So right there, similar age statements. This has got a little bit younger juice in there. Okay, man, I gotta say the noses are pretty similar, right off the bat. I might give a nod to this first one. I think they're both very sweet, but I feel like I'm getting a little more oak off of glass one. Man, I don't know though. Yeah, I'd say there's probably a little bit more oak in glass one. Anyways, guys, off to the palate. Cheers. Wow, that is really sweet. You're getting a lot of rich brown sugars. A lot of that sweetness is coming through in the cherry spice there. Or by cherry spice, I mean Luxardo cherry, which is something that I do find on this Russell's. Man, that is just so sweet. Man. Yeah, that sweetness is almost like a hard, almost get like a green, hard rock candy of a Jolly Rancher or something like that. Man, but that finish is good. Wow. Not picking up too terribly much oak. So, I mean, that's just something to call out there. I mean, it doesn't taste young at all. I'm picking up, a fair amount of barrel spice there. But yeah, I mean, overall, very sweet, a lot of brown sugars, lighter on the vanilla, and a lot of that Jolly Rancher hard rock candy with some Luxardo cherry there. By the way, just looking at the color, these, they look pretty similar. So I mean, really no signs giving me away one way or the other. Okay. Now the nose on glass. Yeah, so after having some bourbon like this nose just smells a little bit darker. Smells like I'm getting a fair amount of more oak there. Like a dark, deep, rich oak. Anyways, yeah, off to the palate on glass 2. Cheers. So that cherry is more concentrated in terms of the Luxardo cherry note. It seemed to be pretty similar between the two, but this was super rich and super thick straight up front. Glass 2 is definitely a little bit richer there. It is very sweet, but you pick up a little bit more of those drier, the leathery, the tobacco, along with a whole bunch of that sweet oak spice there, which is kind of man. But then you just go back to the nose, and the nose is just so sweet there. It's sweet and a lot of that spicy brown sugar there, which is reminiscent of oak on the nose. Anyways, let's go in for one more. Man. Yeah, that cherry syrup note right up front is so dense. which is very similar to what I was getting there on glass 1. But I feel like coming off of glass 1 that this one just has a little bit more of like a darker, richer, you know, in terms of like the oak profile. It's like really shining through there. Review of like this batch 5 versus 2. I thought 2 had a lot more oak on it than batch 5, but batch 5 was still very good, but I thought it was just a lot more balanced. So I think this is going to be like batch 5 in particular is a great one to use for this comparison. Anyways, so let's go ahead and go back to glass 1. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that is like really sweet. I get like the sweetness there is kind of like reminiscent of kind of like that like Buffalo Trace cherry, just like, of course, it is significantly like higher proof there, but like that's kind of that like Buffalo Trace cherry, like kind of caramel there. That's like not as much brown sugar, but more of like a light caramel with like that cherry note. Yeah, with some vanilla in there as well. Yeah, I mean, like this is a fantastic pour. I just, you know, I feel like this one's lacking a little bit of like that like robust oak profile. Let me go back one last time. All right, so I've come up with my final thoughts here. So the noses on these are both very similar, and I think the palates are relatively close, but I think there are a few, you know, redeeming qualities for glass 2 that are missing from glass 1. So both of them are both incredibly sweet pours, but I think that where glass 2 really separated itself was with a little bit more of like that oak, and that was a little bit more on like the darker side, where I think there's more like confectionery sugar, like hard candy sweetness notes, which are just like higher up on like the sweeter side for me. Whereas I think glass 2 was a little bit like denser of like a Luxardo cherry syrup versus like a Jolly Rancher hard candy there. There's a little bit more like brown sugars going on there. It's a little bit more drying on glass 2 than glass 1. So all in all, I think that they are both really good, and I'm kind of surprised at how close they are. But at the end of the day, like if you've got a sweet tooth and you like the more confectionery sugar things, I think that glass 1 might be for you. Anyways, I really hope that, you know, this is Russell's 13 because it is my favorite bottle. I've said it multiple times. So anyways, let's go to get into it. Damn. Yeah, I mean, that says Bards. I can't believe it. That's why you got to do these blinds, guys. Holy smokes, I am shocked. Yeah, wow. Sorry, I was really shocked there. I was like convinced that that one was the Russells. But yeah, I mean, coming back, tasting this one, yeah, I mean, this one is just so sweet. And it's got like that vanilla note. It's like that. It's like the vanilla note just coming out so strong on this. That's just not something that is kind of like characteristic for me when I think of that Russells. But wow, putting these two head to head, I guess that's kind of, you know, why you do these blinds. Like this Bardstown you can find for about like $135, whereas the Russells 13 is like $150, you know, 300 plus everywhere else. But you can actually get this bottle, and in a head to head blind, I'm shocked. But the Disco 11 took down Russells 13. I'm going to have to do this one again. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. The Bardstown Discovery Series 11 came out on top over the Russells 13. That's unbelievable. So we have a winner. If you want a Russells 13, you know, this Bardstown Discovery Series 11, it came out on top today. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you have, would you please consider giving me a like? Would you please consider subscribing? And as always, my name's Tanner. This is Neat Bourbon. And pop the bottles and share the pours, and we'll see you in the next one.